Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. Making some content now on options. So, as most of you know, those of you who watch my channel, obviously I'm sharing my journey to retire on dividends. Most of my investments in my taxable account are in covered call ETFs, which are high risk funds that sell options, make premium, and then pay you out a high yield because of that premium. Now, in doing so, it's making me more and more just want to do some options on the side myself. So, long story short is I decided to just, dip my toes in again. And in the process, hopefully I can explain to you guys, how this works, how options works. Just basic stuff. I can update you once a week what I did and try to explain it. Again, why I would do this, how it works, things like that. So again, I'm just sharing my journey. The point of me doing this, doing options, is to produce more income so that I can invest in more stocks or ETFs that pay me a dividend. So in the end, it's all combined to the same goal. So what you see here, this is a screen print from Think or Swim, which is an application that was, it's owned by TD Ameritrade, which is now owned by Charles Schwab. Luckily, when Charles Schwab took it over, they decided to keep the Thinkorswim platform as is, because I'm a huge fan of the Thinkorswim platform selling options. When I was a beginner, though, I did use Robinhood. And I have to say, Robinhood is very easy to understand. However, when I did make this switch over to Thinkorswim, at first I was way over my head, and then in the end it was okay. I'm still, there's still so many features I don't use. So listen, guys, I am by far not the options king, nor do I ever claim to be. I just do the basics and I keep it simple. Maybe I'll do some dangerous things, later on, but right now I just keep it simple. I sell puts, I sell calls. So I'll just show you guys real quick what my strategy is. All right, so what you see on the screen is TSLL. TSLL, this is an ETF, basically. It does 1.5 times whatever Tesla does, okay? So with that comes, with the movement of Tesla. If Tesla goes up 10%, TSLL should go up 15%, okay? Or vice versa. If Tesla goes down, let's say 5%, TSLL will go down 7.5%, right? 1.5 times the number. And with that comes implied volatility. So the implied volatility should now be 1.5 times higher, right? Because the movement is 1.5 times greater. So hopefully that makes sense. So obviously, they call these like leveraged ETFs. You guys may be more familiar with TQQQ. That's a triple leverage ETF of the QQQ. I sold options on that one years ago, and I just, I played it stupid. I lost a lot of money. But, I also I made a lot of money in the beginning, and then I just played stupid. So I'm using this one because, number one, I'm basically, I'm so tied to Tesla lately with the daily videos. I'm following the price very closely. So I kind of just want a piece of the action. All right, so what did I do? This is a screen print of, the options chain for TSLL through Thinkorswim. And what you see on the bottom, it shows February 23rd, 2024. That's the expiration date. And then right across from it is the implied volatility, 72.07%. And then below that in the middle, those are the strike prices. So I chose to only view 4 strikes. Obviously, it can go out as far as you want, but I chose the $10 option. So at this point in time, TSLL was priced at around 10.05. Okay, so I decided I want to sell a put for $10. Okay, and as of that point in time, it was the last payment, the last payout. Someone was willing to pay 37 cents for that, because me being the seller, I need to find a buyer on the other side. So again, why am I selling a put for $10 on TSLL? Because I'm hoping TSLL will stay above the $10 range by the expiration date of February 23rd, 2024, which is next Friday. And that's, that's 4 trading days since we're closed on Monday. So I would get 37 cents times 100 because each contract is 100 shares. So that's $37, and I would risk, 10 shares essentially times times 100. That's $1,000. Hopefully that makes sense. Because when you sell a put, you have to put up collateral. So if the collateral is $1,000, I have to put that up. I have to have that cash in my account. So when I'm doing this, I need to be willing and have $1,000 in order to make 37 cents, okay? So if I sold a put for $10.50, that's above, the 72 cent. It's above the actual price, which means it's in the money. They'd pay me 72 cents because that's higher risk. That means I'm willing to pay for this ETF. Right now I'm saying it's going to go over 10.50 by the expiration. And if it doesn't, I would have to pay 10.50 per share for that. So obviously that's a risk since it's priced right now below that, okay? And then obviously as we move up in price, $11 would pay you $1. So, as you go up in price when selling puts, it's higher risk, higher reward. As you go down, it's lower risk, lower reward. So if I chose a lower strike like 9.50, I'd only get 16 cents, but there's a lesser chance that I'm going to get assigned. Not sure if I did that justice and explained it well, but I'm going to move on to the next screen. So I went ahead and I said, okay, I'm going to sell a put. So I chose that option and I chose limit. I'm going to sell it for 37 cents. You see the cost of the trade, it shows a credit of $37, which, by the way, this is why I show the credits on my spreadsheets. I know a lot of, accounting people always question my data, but again, I'm trying to keep it with the options signage. So this is what I did. And then I came here, I went to put the order in. This is obviously the next screen. It just shows you the max loss could be $963. And that's because it's $1,000 I'm putting up on collateral, and that's minus the 37 credit I'm going to get. Because again, they're going to pay me a premium, $37 right away, but I have to put up the 1,000. So obviously the difference is my maximum loss. And then here it went to pending, so it was working. It just sits there. Since it's a limit buy, it waits for a buyer. However, there was no buyer because Tesla price actually was going up at the time. So this was selling for around 30 cents, 32 cents. So I had to adjust my cost basis and I changed it to 35 cents. And as you can see on this screen, it was filled, okay? So this is now filled. I got 35 cents for a weekly put for risking $1,000. Some, seeing this, you may say that, okay, that's not worth it. $35, what are you doing? But you'll see when I pull up the numbers. Here's the credit. I got $34.34 because they take stupid fees, unfortunately, but whatever. I got $34.34. That credit hits my account right away. Yeah, so there's that. And then, I'll get into this in a second, but we'll go to my spreadsheet. Shows no connection. Yeah, I had to, why is that? I need that to go away. Okay. I had to go to airplane mode and do not disturb. So these are the 3 option stocks I'm pulling up for now that I don't know what I'm going to play around with, but I'm starting with lower ones. I got the other 2 names, Arbor Realty and ProShares Bitcoin Strategy from someone in my Discord. I'm not messing around with them yet, but they have very high implied volatility. For now, I'm just going to stick with TSLL. So the first thing I wanted to check was, how does the movement of TSLL work? So I did a side-by-side chart to show, all right, TSLL versus Tesla. And long story short, you see TSLL in green, and then you see TSLA, Tesla, in, I guess, the darker green, the army green. And then on the very right, in the turquoise, that's the difference, right? So there should be about a 50% difference because, again, TSLL moves 1.5% of what Tesla does, okay? So if you see, it's about 50% overall, plus or minus. I know they probably have to reallocate the fund, the TSLL fund, which could be daily, so it could fluctuate. But like if you just look on a normal day, let's just look at January 17th. Tesla went down 2%. So TSLA went down about 3%. So that's what can happen. On the flip side, when Tesla goes up 4.19% on January 27th, TSLA went up 6.25%, which is nearly exactly, 50%. So that's what happens. It moves 1.5 times what the underlying is. So that's obviously much more risky, but much more rewarding. So now here's the details of my the put I did. So the execution date was the date I put it up. Again, I'll track this as I go along. The expiration date I chose was February 23rd. And then I have early close date in case I close it. And then the number of days this is expiration date minus execution date. So this is the number of days I'm putting up money for this investment, 7 days, okay? I did one contract. The stock price at execution was approximately $10.04, and the strike price I chose was $10. So I only went 0.4% out of the money because, again, when I sold the put, I chose the $10, which is not in the money. In the money would have been choosing a higher price because, again, we're selling puts here. So, think about could it be assigned right away? $10? No, it cannot be because it's really, it's lower than the price right now. So, and the premium per share I got was 35 cents. Okay. It's been a while since I talked about options. I'm a little rusty here, so bear with me, guys. I got 35 cents. Total premium payout is $35. The fronted amount I put up is $1,000. The standby amount I'll get into in a second. So the return on investment is 3.5%, okay? That's how much return I'm getting for 7 days, okay? That's for 1 week. The income per day is about $5 per day, and the return on investment per day is 0.5%, which is pretty good. And if you annualize that, multiply that times 365, that's 182%, which is really, really good. But again, it's very risky. So with risk comes reward. So just, think about it. Now, what is this standby amount? Well, if I sold that put, right? And if TSLL, let's just look here, right? So it looks like we closed around 10:12, right? If TSLL closed at $9 or, around the $9 range on Friday, I could be assigned 100 shares and have to pay $10 per share. So guess what? What can I do next? Well, I have two choices. It depends. If the price of TSLL for the following week is close to the $10 range, then guess what? I can sell calls now at $10 and collect a premium. If the price of TSLL is much lower than $10, then me selling a call for $10 may not bring in the appropriate premium, right? So what I would want to do is I want to take more money. Again, I have $3,000 standby, and I'll sell another put. I'll sell another put, and I'll sell it at $9, okay? What's the reason for that? Well, again, I'm going to earn more premium, and guess what? If I get assigned, I'm lowering my cost basis. And the reason I want to lower my cost basis is because I want to sell calls at some point. And I can't sell calls if my cost basis is $10, and let's say the price of TSLL is like $8.50, right? The premium for that may not be attractive. If it is, I'll do it. But if it's not, I won't do it. So again, you don't want to lose. If your cost basis is 10, you typically don't want to sell a call at $9 or, something less than the $10 range, because then you're basically forfeiting. You're admitting you're going to take a loss. So that you really want to sell calls at the price or above. Okay? Again, this is your journey, your money. Just think about premium income. If TSLL is above $10 the following week, even after you got assigned it, like say Monday it went up to above 10, and guess what? You could sell a call for $11, and you can make a $1 profit. If TSLL expired above the $11. So, and you would get assigned. They would give you $11 per share. You'd get the premium for selling the call, and then you'd make $1 profit. So this may not make sense without the complete visual, but I'll try to share what I'm doing each and every week. But as of right now, I sold a put, one contract, that's 100 shares. So I put up $1,000 collateral, and I got $35 in return. Okay, so that $35 goes right into my account, and it's going to buy some dividend stocks. Best case scenario is TSLL closes below $10 next week, and above $10 next week, and my contract expires worthless. Okay, which means guess what? They give me the $1,000 back. I use it again the following week, and I sell more puts. But like I said, worst comes to worst. If I get assigned, then I'll sell calls if the premium's attractive. If not, I'll dip into my standby amount, and I'll sell another put. I'll lower my average. And then if I get assigned, then I'll sell calls unless it's not attractive, and then I'll dip in the pot again. You get the point. But the idea is just to collect premium and premium and premium. So I also have an annualized amount based on the standby. So basically I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to leave $3,000 in the account for this specific investment strategy. So what's my return on the $3,000? Because really it's just sitting there. It's not earning me any money. And the return is still 60% annualized. So I have to say that's still pretty damn good. So even though I'm only using $1,000, I'm yielding 60% for the $3,000 that is just sitting there. And, like I said in the other video in the car, they call this the rescue mission. I believe Alan something, the options guru on YouTube. You guys are going to look him up. He's like really good, older gentleman. But I think he calls it the rescue mission, which it's what it is. You're rescuing your cost basis, right? You're going to sell another put, bring your average down, or you just sell another put until the price recovers, right? So a lot can happen. So again, this is what I did. So I only have one contract, right? I sold a put, made $35, $1,000 sitting in limbo, waiting till next week. That other screen print that I said I'd come back to, this is how we closed. So if I look at my option, right now I can close this for 28 cents, okay? You see the buy sell orders going for like 28 cents, right? So guess what? If I closed it, I would make 7 cents or $7. So do I want to do that? Well, not really, right? Because $7 in one day, that's about what I'm making anyway. So it's not like if I was able to close it for say 5 cents, 10 cents, I would do it. If it was just over, across one day. But, if Tesla goes up next week and TSLL obviously goes up, then guess what? My put becomes very, very cheap to close. So I could also close early. So that's another option. There's several options. That's why I have this field here, early close date. And the other option, if it goes sideways, if TSLL drops to the $9 range, I could always roll the contract into next week. And by roll, I mean buy to close the put and sell to open another put. So it would be an offsetting transaction, offset debit for the new credit. So again, just another strategy. But for now, I'm taking my time. I'm not going crazy. I'm not putting all $3,000 on there and selling, 3 contracts, because who's going to rescue me, right? No one. So that's why I need the standby amount. That's key for me. Standby amount of $3,000 in case this goes sideways. And then historically, like TSLL, $10, $9, $8, $9, $10, $11. I'm pretty comfortable doing this. Just looking at the TSLL price range. I mean, what's the lowest it really went? I took the numbers as of January. I mean, how low? I mean, it's done pretty good, man. So I have really, I have hope of this strategy. I think I can make some really good money. And if I feel comfortable, I will eventually, I could use, maybe the funds that are in some of these other covered call ETFs, maybe I could just use that. Or maybe I could, I just venture out into another ticker, right? Like Bitto, for example, it's a chance to sell options on the crypto volatility, because again, high volatility is key. Arbor Realty, I mean, that's a REIT. That's a REIT. I used to invest in them, and they're volatile. They're pretty volatile. I was surprised. So these two are very attractive, but right now I'm only messing with TSLL because, again, I track Tesla day in and day out because of my daily videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the daily videos, YieldMax has ETFs, covered call ETFs, and I track the trades that they do every day and just explain to people, the numbers behind it. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check them out. But either way, like I said, this is just the beginning of my options journey. I apologize if my explanations were a little rusty, because again, I haven't done options. This is probably the first time since like COVID time, So it's 3 to 4 years. Again, I know options and I love options. I just haven't done it because I didn't trust myself. But now I'm at a point where I'm just going to take it easy, 1 week at a time, try to make some money on my own. Again, I don't have to pay a fund manager, whatever they cost, whatever they charge. This is just me having fun. Well, actually, at the same time, hopefully I can teach you guys something. Hopefully for people who never did options, this is a better, hopefully I can explain it well. But again, this is the first video, so it may not be that great, to be honest. I feel like I'm not explaining it well enough, but hopefully, again, for the beginners, some of this made sense. But again, it'll get better in time. So like I said, I'm making right now, if all goes well, I made 182% on my money, right? Annualized. But if you just want to look at the week, I made 3.5%, okay? 3.5% of my money for 1 week. For my troubles, okay? I'm putting up $1,000. So the more money you have, the more money you could risk and the more money you can make, all right? I know $35, that's nothing. People are probably laughing at me right now. The options experts or whoever, this is like a joke to them. But again, you have to start somewhere. And I don't have the funds to be thrown around wasting money. Right now, I'd rather have the experts do it. So most of my money is in, YieldMax, Defiance, etc., because those are the pros. However, I'm dipping my toes. I'm getting back in. I'm playing the game. And at the same time, I'm going to take you along for the journey. So, by the way, if you guys enjoy this content, you have to let me know. Please click the like button or just let me know via comment or both. But always, as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a schlep on YouTube, just showing you my journey. I'm just an everyday guy like you guys. I go to work, typical 9-to-5 job. I have a family. But at the same time, I started a YouTube. Started 5 years ago, but now it's it's going strong. People enjoy my content, and I enjoy the people, and I enjoy making the content. So it's a good match. So if you want me to explain anything differently, please let me know. If you're very interested in this content in general, I'll do it once a week. No more than that, because that's overkill. Then I'll explain, the moves I did. But if you have any questions on options, you can leave in the comments or feel free to join my Discord. There's a link attached to my YouTube channel. And by the way, as soon as you join it, if you get a message from either me or one of the other moderators, it's not us. It's a spammer trying to sell you crypto or trying to sell you something, okay? We do not direct message, so please keep that in mind, okay? Anyway, like I said, I hope I explained this well, and I hope TSLL closes above $10 next week. And, we make some profits. If not, I have a plan. There's a plan for everything, right? That's what you need, a plan for everything, every which way. All right, I got to go. Make sure the baby's still sleeping. He's taking a nap right now, which is why I'm able to make this. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Later.